How often should you change your oil? The answer might surprise you. So stick around, we'll talk about it. When I bought my car, it's a 2008 Kia Optima. It had 200,000 miles on it, and the engine was bad. The timing chain was worn down so much that the timing had slipped, so it wasn't running right. There was a spun bearing on the crankshaft, so I had to fix all of that. And the previous owner had done what he was told. He had done what he thought was right for the car as far as maintaining it. The owner's manual says that for normal service, oil change is required every 7,500 miles, which is a lot. And the transmission fluid was also very black at 200,000 miles, because when he wanted to do transmission fluid changes, but over 100,000 miles, the shop started telling him, we're not going to change your transmission fluid because it's high mileage, and there's a risk that changing the fluid could make the transmission stop working. So he didn't do that, even though he really should have, and the shops should have facilitated that for him. I got the car, I rebuilt the engine, all new timing chain kit, new bearings, basically a full rebuild. And I changed the oil every 3,000 miles. And if you look at the service schedule for the vehicle, there are two separate service schedules. One is for normal service, which most people look at when they're looking at their car, and that could be every 5,000 miles for an oil change, 7,500 miles, 10,000 miles, even 15,000 miles on some Japanese-made automobiles. But that's, in my opinion, entirely too long. And if you look at the other one, the severe duty service schedule, which is always included, those, for my car, the normal service is 7,500 miles. Severe duty is 3,000 miles, which is what I recommend. So basically, to qualify for the severe duty, if you drive your car for let's say a 2013 Honda, in order to be severe duty, it qualifies as severe duty if you drive your car in freezing conditions, which is just below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. If you drive your car above 90 degrees Fahrenheit, if you drive on dusty or muddy roads, if you do stop and go driving, which pretty much almost all of us fall into that category. So it's kind of misleading, because really, if you live in a city at all, you qualify for the severe duty, and you should be maintaining your car according to that schedule, which is a lot lower. For that Honda, I think it's 10,000 miles for an oil change under normal circumstances, but under the severe duty, which we all fall into, it's 5,000. That's a big difference. So with today's engines, they are built better. The 3,000 mile oil change has been around for decades and decades. With today's engines, better oil, and the engines are made better. So if you're using full synthetic oil and you go past 3,000 miles, so say 4,000 or maybe even 5,000 miles, you'll be in a lot better shape than when an older engine, maximum you could go was 3,000 miles. So yes, today's engines and oils are better. The synthetic oil will protect your engine components better if you go past the 3,000 miles. And for a lot of modern engines, they do require full synthetic because they are built differently. They have different technologies that rely on synthetic oil, like variable valve timing, hydraulic timing chain tensioners, even oil pressure sensors. They all rely on you having full, clean oil. And if the oil is low or dirty, those components can stop functioning, or they can go bad. Like in the case of a VVT solenoid, those can go bad from running low or dirty oil in your vehicle. So knowing all of that, I recommend people change their oil every 3,000 miles, because for one thing, we all fall into the severe duty category. So the oil change interval that they advertise from the automakers, that should be saving you a lot of money on oil changes, because you only need to do it once a year. That's really not good advice. I've done thousands and thousands of oil changes over the years. And so we mechanics, we see what comes out when we change the oil. And every time we look at and see how long it's been since the last oil change. So we know what oil looks like when it comes out at different mileages, and pretty much above 3,000 miles, the oil starts to look pretty bad. And when you go, I've seen cars where the customer just forgot or didn't know they needed to get their oil changed, and maybe 10 or 12,000 miles, and the oil does not look good. Those components are probably wearing a lot faster, and the engine is getting sludge buildup, which is basically thickened oil that sticks to components and builds up in there, and it doesn't stay clean. And then when you do change the oil, a lot of contaminants remain in there from the old oil. You can't get it all out, so you can't really get a proper oil change after that. So the best thing to do for your engine, I would say, in pretty much all cases, is to change your oil every 3,000 miles. Like I said, do a lot of highway driving, you take it easy on your car, and you fall more into the normal service schedule, then I would say you can get away with a higher mileage. But if you want your car to go 300, 400,000 miles, changing your oil every 3,000 miles is a great way to get there. I think the previous owner of my car, the 2008 Kia Optima, I really believe that if that person had changed the oil every 3,000 miles and the filter and kept up with his transmission fluid changes, that his car would have lasted 400,000 miles. Right now, since I rebuilt it at 200,000 miles, the car has 250,000 miles on it, and I expect the engine to last till about 400,000 miles before it needs work again. I hope this is helpful to you. Really urge you, if you want your car to last a long time and be able to maybe hand it down to another driver in your family or something, or have it be running well when you decide to sell it or trade it in, I would say change your oil every 3,000 miles, and use full synthetic. If your car has over 100,000 miles, use high mileage full synthetic, and your car will thank you, and it's going to run a lot better for a lot longer. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.